because the people went to the street and removed the most dictator throughout the history, Mubarak. If you guys pull Mubarak online, Hosni Mubarak, you will see what he did to the Egyptians. So in order for me to talk, I'm gonna put small video, 2 minutes, called The Square. This is Tahrir Square, where the revolution started. This is gonna give you an idea what I'm gonna talk about, what made me get involved and all that, if you don't mind. And do you care if you don't mind, take your names fast, like first name, but this way I know who you are and all. My name is Muhammad. What's yours?
I'm Will.
Who yours?
Chris.
Alexandra.
Alexandra.
Parker.
Mallory.
I'm Matt.
Okay.
Lauren.
Sam. Alan. Amir.
Amir.
Paige. Juliana. Ashlyn. Katie. Emily.
Gabe.
Okay.
Henry.
Nice to meet you guys all. All right. I hope I can remember at least 2 or 3 of the names. I'm sure I remember Amir. This is an Arab name. Where are you from?
I'm from Iran.
Okay, that's why. That's a Middle Eastern name as well, yes. So we'll go ahead and play the video if you don't mind, just get right now.
Yeah, it should be. You can just.
Just,
Yeah, you can run this way.
I'll
do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you guys have questions as soon as I finish one section, please feel free. I'd like to communicate throughout the class because I don't want you guys to get bored or get tired of me while I'm talking, okay?
Millions of Egyptians came down to the streets in nationwide protest.
This uprising defies any definitions. People are gathering in the largest demonstrations against President Hosni Mubarak.
أمر السيد الرئيس محمد حسني مبارك بالتخلي عن منصب رئيس الجمهورية.
That's Tahrir Square.
تتذكر ولا تقولي يا أستاذ؟ خليني أحكي لك القصة ابتدت إزاي. ابتدت لما شوية شباب جدعان عشان يحاربوا الظلم والفساد والفقر. أنا قابلت مجدي عاشور في الميدان. مجدي عاشور هو أحد أعضاء الإخوان المسلمين.
انتوا في يوم من الايام اتوقع نقف في بدايه التحرير متضامنين كلنا مع بعض. كان بالنسبه لي صعب.
لو اخر نقطه دم طلعت مننا قوات مسلحه مش هيطلع طلع فيه. والرجاء اللي معاه حاجه لابنها 8 دقايق تحت الدور.
And the people out there know that. هو السيد محمد مرسي رئيس الرعية.
عارف الولد دي أنا بحبه لكن بكره جامعة الكونجروس.
حق الاخوان وقفوا على المجلس العسكري، المجلس العسكري لا ده شعبه وقفوا البلاد وعملوا اللي انتوا عايزينه والثوره جايه غصب على اي حد.
All right, that's kind of 2 minutes giving you what happened in the street with millions in the street ready to remove the regime. And this is when I started myself to be involved. And I'd like to say again, start with, now I'm going to seriously start my speech with you. First, I will start with Assalamu alaikum, which is peace upon you in Arabic way. And in Islamic way as well. This is what we start when we start any conversation. We start with Assalamu alaikum, which means peace upon you. Pure just knows that as well. Whenever I start getting engaged, that after 25th, I started contacting the people on the street. I couldn't go back to Egypt because I was doing my MBA at the time. There was a program, 18 months program. I cannot leave. That was kind of so-called executive MBA program. So, and I did wanted to leave. I wanted to join them in the street, but I was on the phone all the time and calling people, how can we help? So I was able to do a group called It's Time to Invest in Egypt. And if you go on Facebook, you will see that the professor at the time, he was in international trade, he kind of helped me what would bring business to Egypt. I really felt as the first time in my life, Egypt is my country. Like here, we all go to the election and start voting. You feel that your voice matter, right? Egypt, like none of the Egyptians ever felt that our voices matter until the 25th of January. And we said, even if it's gonna take 30 years to be like Europe or America, that's fine. But at least we are on the right path. So I tried to talk to people about investors, what we can do, what I felt like I'm really, really Egyptian at that time. And I'm proud being American as well, but I felt I'm able now to help my country to be on the right path like United States. That's so anyway, I had one semester was going, like I have one semester to left for me to go to Egypt. So as soon as I finished, I was able to go to Egypt, and then as soon as I get there, I started joining. There was a demonstration already in the street because we did not have the election yet. So I went back and forth until we had the election, and then for some reason the military played a very good game. They didn't want to leave the country yet because they have so much corruption. So what happened? They played the media, and they pushed for Muslim Brotherhood to get in the election and to win. But this way they can play the boogeyman, the Muslims, the radicals, and they were not radical actually, but they played in the media that way. So they were able to get seculars, regular Egyptians, to gang together and start demonstrating to remove the regime. And they went to, a person like me, I'm independent. I don't belong to any parties at all. But I saw the picture from far away. I said, guys, wait the 4 years. And instead of going to remove that person, another president is gonna come and they're gonna remove him again with the same way. So anyway, there was a conspiracy was already been done. There's people in the Gulf countries who already conspire against Egypt because they don't want democracy. They were afraid of contagious. If leaves Egypt, go to Saudi Arabia, go from Saudi Arabia and go to Kuwait, go to Jordan. So everybody conspired against the Egyptian people at the time. So I went to the street, June 30th, they were able to push the Egyptians to go in the street, not to remove the president, but to do early election. But the military played the game. They took them in the street, and then on July 3rd, they did a military coup, and he said, with the time, now it's President Sisi, General Sisi. I don't like to call him president because he was assigned himself a president. So he took the tanks to the street, and he said, you guys called me to come in, so I decided to help you out and rescue. He's actually helping his corruption system. And he used the people, because the people now, they help him in the street on June 30th. Now, most of them in prison. He was just using them for temporary, and then after that, he turned against them. At the time I went to the street with them, I was demonstrating against the military coup. And I had an interview with CNN. I would like to bring it up. I was, that day, the military was able, they killed 10 people. Three days after that, they killed 300. And then 2 weeks after that, they killed in one day over 2,000 people. One day, they just like using rifles and everything just in the street like that. But I'm glad I was not there at the time. I was back in the States. But the day the 10 was murdered, I was in the street. And CNN was there, and they were looking for someone to be able to communicate and speak English and deliver the message. You probably won't know me because I was very tense, but I'll pull it to let you guys see that my interview. And the murder took place actually 2 hours after that. My way out of the square, this is another square, not Tahrir Square, not Tahrir, called Nahda Square. Nahda and Rabaa Square, this is the two squares that the people went to the street to be able to say, we refuse the military. We don't want the military. And I like really wanted to speak to the media because I want to tell them that not everyone in the street is Muslim Brotherhood. We're really here to defend democracy. I disagree with Muslim Brotherhood a lot because they were not able to contain everybody. They were not able to contain the secular, the other parties. However, they came with democracy, but still they had mistakes, but not to remove them or depose the president, the elected president, Muhammad. So every chance come to me to speak to the media, I went to the media and spoke to, not CNN, I spoke to other news as well. So let me put this out for you and kind of give you an idea of how everybody behind me telling me what to say and so on. Just hit enter right away.
We're joining you now live from Swanee University, where a peaceful protest has been going on today. Ben, I don't know if you heard this, but update us on where you are, what you're seeing, what the mood is.
We only heard sort of secondhand what the speech was in. The mood here is defiant. People are angry at the fact that the man they elected a year ago, Mohamed Morsi, is no longer president. And many people, what's interesting actually, Michael, is we saw airplanes flying overhead, trailing the colors of the Egyptian flag, and people, as they went overhead, these airplanes, they said, Irhan, Irhan, Sisi. Of course, at 10, which means in Arabic, go, Sisi Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the Minister of Defense, which of course, just a few days ago in Tahrir Square, we were hearing Irhan Morsi, go Morsi. So a very different mood here. Now, I'm joined by Mohammed Ahmed, an Egyptian-American who came here this month on the 5th of June to find out the state of democracy in his native land. How do you evaluate democracy in Egypt today?
I think it's a complete assassination to democracy and legitimate state. It's a complete assassination. I came here to speak to the Egyptian people. It's a newborn of democracy. I'm here, I don't care who's the president. Regardless, Morsi, Sabahi, Shafir, regardless. I'm here to support democracy and legitimacy. I enjoy freedom and democracy in the United States. And I want to see it applied in Egypt here. I want these people to feel freedom. So that's why I'm here today. I'm here to tell everyone, the whole world, it's a complete assassination to democracy, and it's a complete military coup.
Now, Mohammed, what options do people like Morsi? What options do you have to change what is happening?
Actually, the option we have is getting together and do a lot of pressure on the Sisi, let him know that we are the real Egyptians. It doesn't mean 20 million people going to the street. No, 90 people, 90 million people. Let's mean the 20 or 30 million people that don't represent the whole Egyptian. The best way to judge is going to the box, going to the election. Either take him out or keep him in. So that's why I'm here. I wanted to tell the whole world that. That's it.
All right, thank you, Mohammed. We're also joined by Dr. Hisham.
Yes.
Your businessman.
Want me to keep going that or the other guy?
A rich man. I'm living.
When I said regardless of Sabahi and Baradei is secular. Muhammad Baradei, he's one of the very, if you pull his name online, he was working with the United Nations, and he was one of the biggest secular in Egypt, and he was going to the election as well, but he pulled at the last moment. So I said, regardless if Sabahi or Baradei, Sabahi is a leftist guy, so it's not, I was not in the street to defend Muhammad Morsi. I was in the street to defend democracy, because it's the first time we ever had this democracy. So that's that same day, I, like literally 2 hours, my way out to the square, going home, they start shooting. They have the first line, just to give you an idea, I never seen this in my life before. First line, thugs, and then the police officers in the second line, because the whole system was against the people of Egypt, the democracy, because the system, they want corruption to stay, because they might be getting $1,000 a month or $2,000, but because of the corruption, they were able to have this connection, get millions of dollars through other things. So they didn't want to get rid of the corruption at all. So you have the thugs, the police, and the military behind them. As soon as we're trying to leave, they don't care who you are. They're just shooting everybody in the square. So there's 10 people who's dead that day. And this is when my life started getting changed completely, and I started getting really activist and started doing lobbying, and I didn't know about the lobbying at all. I didn't know what to do. So we did the first trip from Rabaa Square. Rabaa Square, this is Nahda. There was 2 squares at the time. People were standing here, sitting in this one, in Nahda, that's the name of it, and then the Rabaa Square. We made a group of people. Some of them are American Egyptians, French Egyptians, Italian Egyptians, and we made a group called Egyptians Abroad for Democracy. And we asked on the stage, ask everybody, whoever has like more than one nationality, please come in. So we decided to give some statement in different language to the whole world, because we have cameras from all over, CNN, Jazeera, everybody. So we talked to everybody who's supporting the military coup. We talked to, at the time was, if I'm not mistaken, President Obama was the president at the time. We talked to the European Union and Germany and France, and then we made a trip. We went to the American embassy, and I had a very bad experience there. A group of American Egyptians. We went, at the time was Tahrir Square. The thugs were staying there. They were trying to prevent everybody come to Tahrir back again. So, and the embassy is right behind Tahrir Square. So when I tried to go there, and I asked, we showed them our passport to get to meet with the ambassador or someone inside, they kind of left us out, and they talked to us outside instead of coming in. All of a sudden, we had the thugs surrounding us. And I'm telling you, I was like, said, I'm not gonna leave Tahrir Square, I'm dead. Me and another 3 people. And they don't care to kill you just because there is no security. And I told the guy, can we get in? He said, no, I'm sorry. There was, unfortunately, the embassy at the time was supporting the military. That's because the Obama himself was not supporting the military, he was supporting the election democracy, but they play the game that the military, even if it's corruption, they still can, you know, we can tell them what to do, but if we have democracy in Egypt, they will have their own words. They can say, no, we cannot do that. So when I tried to get inside to talk to them to be secured, they didn't get us inside the embassy, and we felt insecure. And then the guy made a statement. He said, yeah, but the people didn't want him, so they have the right to do it. I said, I can't believe you are Americans and you go through democracy and freedom and say that. I'm gonna write this on Facebook, and then as soon as I said that, he backed out. He didn't want me to write this down. I said, I'd like to have your name, please. And then as soon as I went back to Egypt, I went to my Congress. I was at the time living in Georgia, and I made a complaint, and I went to the Foreign Affairs, and I spoke to them because I could really literally be killed by, I won't be here now, because it's the easy thing to shoot you at that time. Because if they shoot one of the people that they are against against the military coup, this is like, you're a good man, you killed one of those people. So this is kind of show you that even some of the countries or the regimes and the democratic society like America and Europe, they didn't know to support the military coup or support democracy. But if democracy comes, we might not have a full control of Egypt. So that's why we started doing the lobbying. We went several embassies, as I said, France, England, United States, Germany. Yeah, and we delivered a letter to them. That's the first time I ever do lobbying. And just to let them know. But I learned one thing when you do lobbying. This is, if you guys wanted to take some notes, don't just go to the Congress or the Senate and tell them, you know, the people of Egypt or the people of Iran or the people of Syria, they're struggling. Now, you have to link some interest. Why the Congress that representing Americans will help the Egyptians? We have our own problems, right? So the problem, how did I learn this from other organizations? So I tried to find out who like human rights organization here. So I reached out to B Magazine, which is the lady's gonna talk right now. She's from Chattanooga. I reached out to an organization called Code Pink, International Action. I reached out to Human Rights Watch. But this way we can have some Native American organization helping us and kind of give us kind of idea how can we approach the Congress and let them. So the two interests we have, one of them, United States give $1.3 billion every year from your and my tax to the Egyptians, not to the people of Egypt, to help them, to the poor, to help poor Egyptians, to feed them. No, they give it to the regime, and they give them tanks and bullets and all that. And they use this one to kill the Egyptians. So part of our money that we can use it here for health, education, they send it to the regime that they don't need it. They put their money in their pocket. Because they take this tanks, they either resell it, and then, or they take some commission. Like you are, let's say, you're the one responsible for selling certain kind of tanks. For you to make that deal, you did a deal for $1 billion. So you take like $300-400 million in between. So they want this to keep going. So that's the interest we started talking to the American people like you today. I'm letting you know, has any of you guys know about the $1.3 billion from your tax money is going to Egypt? Any of you? If anyone know, let me know. Okay, so this is one thing. The second interest we have, this is from the people of Egypt, or people of America. That the Egyptians, when they know that there's $1.3 billion is going to the government that they killed their own people, animosity comes in. This is why you see some people in the Middle East, when you say the word America, they hate it. Say, oh, those are the one they kill us. Those are the one they give the money. So animosity comes between the people of the two countries. And we are, as an Americans, Egyptians, we know that the Americans know they're different than the government. Because from my own experience, as soon as I talk to people like you, and they know the truth, they feel so bad. And they, like as I said, none of you know that there's $1.3 billion has been going to Egypt every year, not to help the poor people, but it's being used to kill the people and to stay in power. So I tell, we have a page called Egyptians Abroad for Democracy Worldwide. It has more than 200,000 members. Plus I go on the Egyptian TV a lot. I always say, you guys please separate your relation with the government of America if you disagree with them, and the people of America. People of America, as soon as they know what you stand, what you're trying to fight, because they went through democracy and freedom. America won't have this democracy and freedom unless the country went through a lot of stages to be able right now have democracy and freedom. And a lot of people lost their lives for us and for you guys to be here right now. Enjoy democracy and freedom. So we will try to be the bridge. And then when it comes to the government, we want to tell the government what the interest to the government. Why are you going to the Congress and tell the Congress, we want you to help us? Because whenever you tell the government that there's two things they're looking at, stability in the region, Israel right on the border with Egypt. And it's very important to have stability in the region because they don't want another war over there. The other thing is the Suez Canal. Suez Canal is linked between the East and the West. They don't want to have instability over there because if there's fight, all the trade, world trade will stop. So it's very important for them, Egypt, to be stable, regardless if you have a dictatorship regime, if you have a democratic regime, it doesn't matter, but they want that they have a full control. And the problem with Mohammed Morsi, when he comes in, he was elected by the people. So whenever Europe tell him what to do,